people. Yes, sir, man. Hope y'all are doing great. We got another jam-packed episode. We were not here last week. We do apologize. We had a lot going on. All right. We had Memorial Day. We try to honor them holidays, man. You know what I'm saying? So we had that on Monday. Tried to spend the time with the fam. Really get to. It's summer. So a little bit more free time. So, try to spend time with the fam. And Bacon had a birthday last week, man. So we didn't have no hoops either. So, we try to do as many pods as possible, but we back fully loaded. We will have a new co-host joining us soon. If it's not today, it will be next Monday. But we have new co-hosts to the show. I actually want to talk with Bacon about that, potentially getting another co-host for the show for our Thursday Hoops podcast, potentially, just to be able to have interchangeable parts. If Bacon can't do it, we got another guy I can co-host with. If it ain't me, I can't do it. Bacon has another guy he can co-host with, man. But got a new co-host coming. If it ain't today again, I'm not going to reveal the name yet, but we will have that ready to go very soon here. All right. Look, jam-packed show. Georgia Tech has landed 2 wide receiver recruits, so we're going to break all that down, Tech fans. I got videos on the YouTube handle, so y'all go check that out. Another one releasing in about 4 minutes from now. I get my reaction. We'll go react on here as well. But got them live videos ready to go. We're going to get into some, obviously, high school football, talk about official visit season, commits, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about some college football, some major topics, playoff, all that good stuff, how Tech is faring, and then we'll get into a little bit of film breakdowns, man. But let me go ahead and welcome on my co-host of Bacon Network.
We fly, no lie, you know this. Pull it.
I love it, bro. I love it, man. Yes, sir. The good intro to the show, man.
For sure, man. Yeah, man. It's good to be back. Like you said, man. Brother got a year older last Wednesday, man. I was like, man, I gotta get these topics out about shit, man. The time of the year only comes around. You know what I'm saying? Once. So, you know what I'm saying? That make sure you're spending it the way you want to. And I didn't want to do the topics. So, nonetheless, we're gonna have y'all squared away this upcoming Thursday. So, but who's a surprise guest, brother? You know what I'm saying? What you got on?
It's our new co-host, man.
I'm talking about for basketball, brother.
I don't have anybody specific. That's why I said I want to discuss with you to get potentially maybe one in. You know what I'm saying? It might be a couple week period or so, but maybe we just evaluate, get somebody on and just help us co-host. You know what I'm saying? Alongside. Just, like if you got something going on or if I got something going on, we got somebody that could be interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? Still had a show, but there's somebody else that could co-host and get the experience too.
No, yeah, for sure. Like we had on JP, man. That was a good element to the show. 3 heads is always better than 2, but you know what I'm saying? So I don't mind it, bro. You know what I mean? Especially like because we both busy, a lot of things going on. And we want to make sure we're super serving the people because, you know what I'm saying, without y'all tuning in, we be talking to each other like it's FaceTime. This ain't no FaceTime. We FaceTime y'all. Y'all are in our rooms. We don't want to get too specific about where we at, but yeah, in our rooms.
Nah, 100%, brother. You're right about that one, man. But yeah, man. Glad you got to enjoy your birthday, though, man, and glad you're back, man, to get into all the football spills, man, and it's a lot to unpack, man. So I usually just start it, but where do you want to tackle first, Bacon? What should we talk about first in your eyes?
Man, I want to start like early season favorites for football, man. Like who you liking right now? Let's just go. Let's go 4A. Let's go 5A up. We don't want to hold them too long. 5A up. Starting with 6A. Who do you like to come out and win a state championship this year?
The 6A, I think you got to stay obviously with, Grace is going to be in that conversation. Douglas County obviously will be in that conversation. My sleeper will be obviously, North Cobb this year. I think they will be a team that continue to watch to see what they're able to do. New quarterback, really good offensive line, good playmakers and weapons. One of the best running backs in the 2028 class is Zachary Bellew. I think that team was poised to make a run and make some noise this year. So that would be like kind of my sleeper, you know what I'm saying, to see kind of what they are able to do. I'm trying to see all the 6A programs I've seen in the spring. I don't think it was very many. I would go with those 3 for now. I got to do more evaluation and getting to know a little bit more of the programs. But for now, I'm thinking I'll roll with those 3. Also, Lowndes. Lowndes should be able to take a step forward. Colquitt County should be in that South Georgia as well.
Yeah, that quarterback. I know Jeremy's been talking about that quarterback for a while. I've been seeing him on the Twitter feed. I watched his huddle tape. So I agree. My teams would be at a 6A. You got to throw Grayson in there, man, for sure. Just a loaded group, young group, and they are. I saw some 2028s, man. They just keep reloading the clip. But quarterback Burris is Burris, right? Travis Burris, you know what I mean? Just committed to North Carolina. He's been on that list as one of the top quarterbacks, but I think this upcoming season he could possibly push the top 3 in the state. You know what I mean? Obviously Tyler Atkinson. It is that defense is loaded and they got a lot of athletes on the outside. So obviously Grayson, I'm gonna throw Carrollton in there, Ryan Mosley, Payne Zachary. Got a lot of good DBs, CJ Gamble, tech commit. You know what I'm saying, Dorian Barney. I know guys gonna be like, you know, say can Mason Holtzclaw can he keep that engine rolling after Julian Lewis leaves? But you know what I'm saying, from being down there, you know what I'm saying, listening to Coach King, you know what I'm saying, obviously highest paid coach in all of Georgia high school football, man. He's gonna have those guys ready, and that's why they pay him the big bucks, because he's the leader of men in a high level and very detailed. So when you got somebody like that who can coach the X's and O's, man, you can never count those guys out, and they got the talent like I just mentioned the name. So one more from 6A. One more from 6A. Milton's 5A, excuse me. I'm gonna lock in with those 2 teams. I think it's gonna be one of those 2 teams for sure. Everybody else is just playing for second. I think it's gonna be a Carrollton and Grayson year. But 5A, I'll throw it back to you. Not a lot of people have been talking about the guys in Fairburn, Georgia, but I think Langston's going to have a chip on their shoulder this year. You know what I'm saying? Having Darnell Kelly coming back home.
Are you nervous at all of what you've seen in the spring game, though?
Nah, not nervous, man. I don't necessarily put a lot of stock into the spring game. You know, a lot of the track guys weren't there. I know you can say they're football players, but it's timing. You know what I'm saying? Having a new quarterback coming, you got to work through different things. You know, new head coach, learn the way he likes things done. So it's in any sport, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's about the guys or the team who could peak at the right time. So I think they got enough weapons to do so. Who knows? They might pick up a little gem. Not saying I know a thing, but you never know in the landscape of high school football. And also, you put me on notice with Houston County.
Yeah, bro, they tough.
They tough.
They are tough, bro. Yeah,
So,
they got everything they pretty much need.
Everything they need.
Pretty much, bro. I mean, the biggest question will be quarterback. They going through obviously iron things out there, but they got practically everything they need. Now, that ain't a slight on Milton. Milton gonna be in that combo too. A lot of people gonna write them off.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they don't got the same known players, but they got some young Thundercats that's ready to go. And I think you're gonna see that. You know, so I can't write them off. Hoko, you know, but I don't want to go through my list. I want you to continue to go through your list. But Hoko got some dogs.
Yeah. And I'll go back. I'll revert. 6A, you definitely can't. You can't talk about 6A without talking about Douglas County. So I'll throw Douglas County, Carrollton, and Grayson. I think the one of those 3 teams should get the job done this year. But we talked about. I said Langston. I said Houston County, and Milton. I think Milton. So those 3 are my locks. Those 3 teams should get the job done.
Yeah, 100%, brother. I agree. I'm gonna throw Hoko. My sleeper is Northside Warner Robins. I love Coach Boone, man. And what he gonna build down there. That's like the next sleeping giant. That's gonna be a team like, whoa, where the hell did they come from? You know, they're gonna be saying that in 2 years, and all the media gonna be going down there and flocking down there. That's how special that team could potentially be. Now this year they're gonna take their lumps because you got Hoko, you got Thomas County Central, who I think is the heavy prohibitive favorite. Now it's gonna be interesting when you talk about Hoko You talk about TCC. TCC got everything you freaking need too. So it's like, who gonna be the one? Who gonna be the two? Out of obviously that region. And with TCC, they're loaded on both sides of the ball. Good offensive line, great edge rushers, linebackers, safeties, receivers. Got everything you could need and want down there in Tallahassee. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be a team that has something to say. So in terms of middle South Georgia, them the teams to watch. Now up here, Rome is another sleeper for me. Right? We talk about obviously what happened here recently, obviously with the new commits, but they got a lot of pieces too where they should be able to make some noise. So they can get, yes, 100%, and they complement each other so well. And when you have that and a quarterback that's already experienced, Aiden McPherson, they should be able to make a farther jump than a second round playoff appearance, in my humble opinion. Right? So then you got that going on. And then at the same token, also in 5A, you can't sleep on New Manchester. They could potentially make some noise too. We'll see what happens with them. But the real team I'm trying to think that I wanted to highlight, obviously Langston Hughes. We see what happens with them. Hoco, TCC. I'm trying to think if I'm missing a team. Talked about Milton. I want to see what Gainesville does this year. Gainesville's 5A. What can Gainesville do this year? Right? Not the same repertoire we're used to seeing at wide receiver spot and skill position groups, but you got a thumper in Nigel Newkirk. You got obviously a couple weapons on the outside. Who will emerge for them as a playmaker this year? Kareem Hughley's that dude. But who's going to help him out on the offensive side of the ball is my biggest question. Defensively, they should be able to match up with anybody. Like interior D-line, we had Aiden Kane on a few episodes ago. You know what I'm saying? He's a dude upside in that interior. Xavier Griffin, Jamarian Matthews. They got obviously Jeremiah Proctor. They should be able to go further too. But we'll see. So Gainesville's a team a lot of people not going to talk about. Can't sleep on them either, though.
I agree, bro. But like you said, man, without them having a wide receivers, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, man. 5A, if 5A is not 6A, but you can't come half stepping when you're playing against Milton.
No, you can't.
You know what I'm saying? Langston Hughes, Thomas County Central. These are complete teams. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they kind of scheme. I think that's why they kind of ran into that brick wall last year. They couldn't keep up with other teams scoring the ball.
That's a good point. Can they do it this year? We're gonna see.
We'll see, man.
Staying on Milton, let's go ahead and get your reaction to this, brother. This is huge. And I love it, man. I feel like ESPN does this every year. They get one of our marquee games to start the season. A few years back, Bacon, I believe you were there, and that was obviously Langston Hughes versus Carrollton, and I believe you was at the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bacon.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, like, just from your standpoint, just how was that atmosphere? We know this going to generate so much buzz, right? New stadium, $62 million stadium, seats 10,000, right? Debut, of their new stadium. Milton coming in, two-time defending champ. It's got all the storylines you would want to see. People writing off the Eagles and everything like that. But just what is your initial thoughts of this game being on primetime on ESPN?
Mid, brother. I know.
You say mid?
Yeah, I say mid, brother. I've been talking this way about Buford, man. Buford they have a lot of hype, but they never get the job done. Last year we saw it. They got dominated by Carrollton. The year before that, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember who they got beat by, but they just don't never. It's a lot of meat, no seasoning. Ain't got no taste, ain't got no flavor. And I think Milton should with good weather, no rain like last year, and they were able to stick around. I think Milton should win this game pretty handily. I'm not going to give out a score prediction. Pretty handily, but I'm thinking 10 to 17, somewhere in that range, man. I just not that high on Buford, brother. I never have been, brother. Not since they moved to start playing real competition. You know what I'm saying? 5A, 6A. I'm being honest, bro. It's got a good storyline. Buford's got a new stadium. But Milton is a different type of cap. But they're number 2. See, brother, Milton is number 2 in the top 25 rankings. And Buford is 25. If the number 2 team plays the number 25 team in college football, we're expecting a blowout. And this scenario is no different.
Um,
I'll get that me in the comments. Y'all let me know if y'all.
What? Man, no way.
Ain't
no way in hell you just said that. It said if this college football, bro.
This is
two different things. That is based off of what Milton was doing last year, bro. Now Milton's an elite program, bro. But that is the roster this year compared to is night and day, bro. They're not the number 2 team in the country this year, bro. Come on now.
You don't like that new quarterback, man?
He's good. I like Derek Baker. He can play. I think he's one of the best deep ball throwers in the state. Yes, but to say number 2 is high, twin. I don't know about all that, bro.
So you went and saw them in the spring. What was your eval of their roster? How they look?
Really good roster. They're not going to have the same, I guess, marquee type players we're used to seeing, but they have a lot of young thoroughbreds that are ready to go and hungry, right? But the reason I say you call this is mid and then go blow them out. Remember, when you have a lot of young guys getting that playing time for the first time, we see this in college football. We see this in the NFL. It takes you some time to get acclimated. You know what I'm saying? The first game ain't usually your best game, right? It takes you about 3 or 4 games to get used to it. So what I'm saying is I think this game is going to be very competitive. I think this game is going to be a lot better than what you're saying. I don't think it's going to be mid, in my humble opinion. I think this is going to be a thriller because you got a quarterback that's trying to prove himself on the big stage for the first time. Now, he played, obviously, with a great program down there. I think it was St. Thomas Aquinas. I don't think it was American Heritage. I could be wrong. It's one of those two.
I think
prove himself for the first time.
Yeah.
Right, Bacon? Yes. New weaponry. Now these guys can play. Grant Hovland can play. Jordan Carrasquillo can play. Aiden Williams can play. But still, they are assuming starting roles now, not reserve roles. Right? Grant Hovland last year was a reserve role. Okay? Carrasquillo, reserve role. Aiden Williams, okay, reserve role. Right? That's a lot to ask for a team to go on the road that week 1. I'm not saying they can't win. All I'm saying is I think this game is going to be a lot more competitive than you think.
So you're saying this game could possibly be with a game. This is a game of the year vibe is what you're saying.
That ain't what I'm saying.
Top 5 game of the year, at least. That mid. If it ain't top 5, brother, it's mid.
I'll say top 10. Yes. I can't go top 10. I'll go top 10. Yes. Because Buford, you made it all the way, I think, to the semis last year. You lost to Carrollton. Right? And the big knock on you has been you can't win in this new competition, in this higher bracket, right? That's what everybody's saying, right?
And it's coming to fruition.
It's coming to fruition. What better way to prove it than beating the 2-time defending state champions, whether that team is the same or not? That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? They got everybody coming back. To this comment here, appreciate you, ARCs, WTF, for tuning in. People lost a lot of key players, Justin Baker, Jordan Allen. They retooled, though. They got young thoroughbreds coming. You know what I'm saying?
Before we get to this game, we will see how it look against Langston. If we, I know it's a scrimmage, but if we see Langston go out there in usual fashion, because we know how it is down there in Fairburn. You know what I'm saying? They get physical down there, and they don't care who you is, man. That's a different type of coach staff down there. So we'll see if Coach App, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? If you had those guys ready for that type of physical style of football and not get punked off the field.
We will see. But like I said, they return a lot of their key horses. Tyree Green's coming back, right? Yeah. They're going to obviously have Dayton Rayola, right? Kevin Hughes, a really good receiver, who's actually a receiver, right? Same defensive line. Good offensive line.
Good offensive line.
Good back. Like, come on, man. This is Buford we're talking about. This ain't no slouch, bro. This is a powerhouse in Georgia, whether they've won titles in this new era or not. Nigga, this is still Buford.
It's still Buford, but the program doesn't have the same luster that it has had in the past.
No, but you play a better competition.
Many mortals.
I'm adjust to that. That's like me taking you from D3 and telling you be ready in 2 years for D1. No.
If you a dog, you a dog, brother. If he dies, he dies.
Hey, I'm dead, bro.
Yeah, they gonna die.
I cannot with you, bro. All right, so we talk about
that. Good program, though, man. They good program. They good program.
Slipping, bro. All right, man. Let's talk about some of these Georgia Tech guys. We got some comments down here that's tuned in. All right, man. So I see some comments. Y'all, hey, y'all was going crazy on YouTube, man. Now look, I have not seen Xavier play in person, right? Some of y'all comments said he's not that good. He's not worthy of a 3-star. Look, I was just showing y'all what happened. I can't speak on the young man. I've not seen him in person, but based on his stats, he ran for 1,100 yards, had over 10 plus touchdowns, and had over 250 plus yards receiving and a couple touchdowns there too. Led them in the receiving yards this past year, right? They're very high on this kid. Coach Novell McKenzie went out and visited him, and obviously they had him for an official visit this past weekend and brought him home. All right. Now, from the tape, like I said, in person, the tape, can be different, but nonetheless, they have a very strong running back room even this year. They're gonna have a strong running back room next year too. They're recruiting at a high position. I think they will add probably one more running back out of this cycle, but I think they really liked this kid, and that's the reason they brought him in. Bacon, what is your thoughts on Georgia Tech landing him?
Man, I like him. I seen one of his clips on his page right now. He threw somebody off. I mean, looks like the kid has some nice speed. He's got a good frame, 5'11", big back, 195. Should probably play at, I say probably 215, if not a little more in college. I think he's I think he's a stud, man. I think I have not seen him in person just like you, but I think, what I'm saying, watching the film, that's as close as you're gonna get. Film doesn't lie. So I think it's a good pickup, man, for sure.
Okay. All right, respect that, brother. I think it's a good pickup too. I mean, you're not asking Xavier to come in and start day one. And he's not going to start day one. He's going to develop and get stronger and faster and be a potential piece for them in the future, I think. You know what I'm saying? Because they have too many pieces there, right? Now, they're going to lose some guys like Dayton Gordons of the world and Chad Alexander's eventually and Jamal Haynes and things like that. But they still got guys coming in, the Shane Marshalls, right? The J.P. Powells, the Traylon Maddox, who's been there for a while. So I still think they got time to figure out that position. And they're still going to be active in the portal. You know what I'm saying? But Bacon, you got a question.
Yeah.
See your response on this. Who do y'all think starting next year with Jamal leaving?
With Jamal leaving, I mean, Traylon Maddox looked good in the spring. So that's my first. That's where my head goes first. They had a lot of good backs, but I would say Traylon Maddox, man, for sure. Not nice power back.
For me, I would say I think you got to throw him in there. I think Malachi Hosley has one more year, if I'm not mistaken. If not, I think he's a redshirt sophomore. Still learning, obviously everything with that. But if not, Hosley, it'll definitely probably be Traylon. And then I think you'll throw probably J.P. Powell in there too if they don't add it back in the portal potentially. But yeah, I think Maddox would be one of those guys that can take the mantle and be ready to go.
Yeah, local kid, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Yeah. He's got to earn it though. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't be surprised to see somebody come in from the portal like Nas just said, but we got to see. Traylon Maddox, depending on how he plays this year, right? Should have seniority, but you got to earn it though.
Got to earn it. It's very true, 100%. All right, man. So Bacon, I think I didn't have a but. Oh, actually, no, I'm tripping. My bad. Let me go to the big news. About to say I ain't had too much more on the high school realm, but for the big news today, the ones that Tech fans want to see. All right, so this all for the Tech fans. Here y'all go. Hold on one sec.
They want to see the receivers.
All right. So as y'all know, as I told y'all already on my channel, so y'all go check this out. This is a live reaction, but I did these reactions beforehand, to give y'all my thoughts on Georgia Tech landing these guys. But Bacon, I'm gonna start with you, brother. Darnell Collins, 6'4", 190. What is your thoughts on Georgia Tech landing this kid?
I mean, this not a big splash guy, not a big splash move, right? Not that big 4-star, 5-star that people always wanting to see that blue chip come to the program, but a very good 3-star prospect. Got incredible ball skills. Interesting enough, he made first team all region as a defensive back and made second team all region as a receiver. But when you turn on the film, man, kid, he was playing defense and caught the ball like this as a DB. Usually you don't see that, so that just lets you know what type of receiver skills he has. But the kid he's got good speed, good size. I mean, like I said, not a big splash pick, but you know what I'm saying. If you like ball, if you're a purist at just, you know what I'm saying, knowing the technicalities of the game, you know what I'm saying, the kid's gonna fit right into this scheme for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bacon. I think this is a kid. He's special, bro. When you were recruited, Bacon, as a like on 3, when they have you ranked as a safety, and then you go and look at 247 Sports, they have you as an athlete. Like, you're an all around great player, because it's like, okay, what are you going to be? And then you go look at this post. He's tagged Coach McKnight, so that means he's going to play receiver, right? That means he's going to play the opposite side of the ball. So as I said in the video, y'all, this guy's a striker, right? He can come down, lay the big hits, but he's also very instinctual, really good ball skills, can float around, play different zones, play some man. He can do a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? So I just think this guy is just scratching the surface of potential. And I told y'all in the video, y'all can call me crazy, but this kid has the potential to be one of those guys, right? When I say one of those guys, I'm talking about, okay, one of those great Georgia Tech receivers to come through if he realizes his potential. Right? And I'm talking about being in that same stratosphere. Not saying he's there yet, but if he develops with that 6'4", 190, his spectacular catching ability, he can be a guy like a Jeremiah Smith, a Ryan Williams, right? One of those faces of college football. Now, I don't say that often, but he has that potential if he develops and all that good stuff. He's really that potent. Like, he can make catches through traffic. 2 guys on, like, this kid is spectacular, man. Really slept on. 3-star receiver, maybe should be ranked higher. But this guy is a very underrated get, but really good one for the Yellow Jackets.
Was a high marks, brother. Jeremiah Spill, so those names, those are fun. The game cover names right there, brother.
Yeah, brother.
I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you looked a lot closer at his tape, at his film. We'll see though, bro. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm saying, you're a savant of the landscape of this. This is your domain. So I'm saying I'm a co-sign with you, brother.
I appreciate you, brother, for sure. Definitely be trying to keep the football acumen right, man.
Nah, for sure. So what I'm saying, what you think about JJ Winston?
Great question. So this kid right here is another one. So that's what I said. I feel like Georgia Tech's in that same realm of big body, but fast. Like, this kid is 6'2", 6'3", but this kid is a multi-sport star. Like, basketball, he known for yamming on you, right? The athleticism, the ability to get to the rim, create a jump shot, right? You know what I'm saying? Create offense for himself. Athletic on the defensive side of the ball. So he falls in that same kind of a tier. And then you add these two together, you got a dynamic duo, right? You got a guy that could go and potentially be a deep ball threat, but also can catch the 50-50 ball, which he's improved on. And then he can come across the middle of the field or whatever, catch it, and take it the distance. When you have that at that wide receiver spot, you feel good. And then potentially, and like I said in the video, you're thinking about the future of Georgia Tech, right? You're thinking of Aaron Fowler's going to be the signal caller next year, unless barring anything unforeseen happens. Who's going to be the next receivers in line for him, right? We know a lot of their receiving corps is going to probably leave this year. Who are going to be those guys that can play? Obviously, Isaiah Kenyon is going to be one. He's expected to have more playing time. You throw in the Bailey Stocktons, but then you add 2 guys that are 6'3", 6'4", that are going to probably potentially grow up into 200 pounds plus as the name of the ball in their hands. You feel pretty good about that. You know what I'm saying? About the future there. So those 2 are going to be guys to continue to watch. Like I said, it's a crowded room, but they're coming in at the right time, because it's going to be interesting to see what Tech does. Like, will they hit a couple guys in the portal? You know what I'm saying? What will be kind of what they do next? That's going to be the big question there. But those guys are definitely him, Evan Haynes. I mean, and that's what I said. Evan Haynes is 6'3", 6'4", too. So there's a recurrent theme with what the Yellow Jackets are bringing in. And I think they usually they're getting, the small, slotty, Z-type receiver. They're going for these big thoroughbreds now. So I think that's interesting when you think about everything.
Yeah, and it started with, I'm not going to say it started with LeBron Gatlin, but he was, I'm saying, I didn't expect to see him to come in. I didn't know he was going to leave South Carolina, but I did not expect to see him didn't even think they was going to recruit him because, like I said, he didn't fit that mold. Like you said, small speech. Well, Eric Singleton is not as small, but he's a smaller frame.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Quick twitch, route runner. But but yeah, the JJ is a you know what I'm saying, is a specimen. What's where trampoline type jumping ability. Knows how to high point. And I was watching this film just not too long ago. Blocks downfield, and I think that's what you get when you get a bigger receiver. And Coach Key love to pound, you know what I'm saying, the running game and just physically dominate you. And I think it's just we just seen that the dream, the vision can continue to come through fruition. So yeah, I also like, you know what I'm saying, you offer two receivers from the same school. That's big. That's big. You know what I'm saying? Our identity, you know what I'm saying, success breeds success, you know what I'm saying? They'll probably be roommates. That's energy that's infectious on that team. So
And exactly. And to your point, Bacon, speaking of, that's when you talk to recruits, that's what everybody says about Georgia Tech, right? Everybody says, oh, Georgia Tech has a family feel, right? Georgia Tech has a great relationship with the coaches and players, right? I feel very comfortable when I go there. And to your point, that exacerbates your point of that specific thing, because it's like, okay, you got two receivers from the same. How often do you see that? You don't see, especially the same position.
right.
Come on, same team, sure. Same position? No, bro. They went 2-for-1. You don't see that every day. And like you said, it could be roommates. That's going to only add to the chemistry because they already played together. They've been playing together probably since they was young. Now you get to do it on the college level? What?
Exactly.
Come
Exactly.
on,
Usually it's just like brothers or something, you know. Where my brothers come, like you see, same thing. Well, they brothers at East Coast with the twins. I mean, usually when you see brother, they're gonna offer the other brother, providing he can play on that level. But like I said, and even as reporters, journalists, you know what I'm saying, we were on at Bobby died or on campus, you know what I'm saying. It was always good vibes. The policemen around directing traffic get a little gangster with you, but you know that's just their job. But overall, it's a good atmosphere. It's a good vibe. I'm saying at the Joe Tech, I think that's what one of our supporters, the Georgia Tech Institute, something like that. But y'all get what I'm trying to say. You on mute? What'd you say?
Nah, I said 100%. I mean, yeah, I think, that's the name, George. Yeah, they spell it weird. I think it's GOJA Tech.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, man. But like you said, two elite recruits. So let's take a look real quick, Bacon. We're not gonna wrap up this class, but let's take a look at where Georgia Tech just stands in terms of this class before we move on to college football. And I just want your honest assessment. It is very early, but just what do you think? I don't know why it's not showing.
It's all good, bro. Take your time, man.
Okay, so I guess we'll just show off of Rivals 247. I don't think it's updated theirs. But what's just your thoughts on this 7 that they got currently?
So you got Darnell Coward, the two guys we just talked about, Xavier Rucker. I like the running back. CJ Gamble, man, CJ Gamble's gonna be a playmaker, man. He's playing some tight end right now, so I just let you know about his athleticism. Ladarius Crumity, very good, underrated DB. Just the same thing along with Jaden Terry. He's a dog, man. Travius Stevenson. I believe we looked at him earlier a couple shows ago. I mean, this is another solid Georgia Tech class, man. We got what? All three, 1 4-star, the rest of them are 3 stars. I'm pleased. I think there's probably 3 or 4 of these guys could be 4 stars, but we don't want to get into the ratings. But I think to answer your question, this is a very good class, man, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better.
Yeah, I think it's a really good class so far. Obviously now they got 3 guys on the offensive side of the ball now. Before they had these defensive guys, but I want to see how they materialize everything else. Who are they able to get at the offensive line, because that was really their big difference last year, making what separated them as a class, right? Top 46 class. You want to get probably around top 25 again, but you're going to have to either flip some guys or you're going to have to land some marquee guys either on the defensive line or the offensive line, in my humble opinion, right? And who's going to be the quarterback of this class? Because you're probably going to sit for a while, like I said. Next up, as they get quarterback, obviously they got a running back. Will they get another one in this class? Who will be some tight ends they try to go after and target, right? Who do they get on the defensive line? Safety position they still got to get. So I think it's interesting to see what they're going to do. But like I said, they got two really good receivers that are underrated in my humble opinion. But how do they fill out this class? Because last year they got petty, flat out, beat out other teams, and then they also landed two more guys, and flipped them. And Peyton Joseph, who was at Florida State, flipped him obviously to Georgia Tech, and then obviously Tate Harris. So if they're going to have that top 25 class, either they're going to have to flip some guys or land some marquee guys still on the roster.
So who do you think who do you think a big splash could be for Tech?
So great question. I'm glad you asked it. So big splash for me, right, that they're in the talks with. Okay, so I'm gonna give you one. Right now, I don't know if he's gonna land there. Tyreek Jemison.
Yes,
it's a huge splash get because he's a 4-star prospect on damn near every platform. Huge get for you. All right, now you got two receivers. We want it to be special. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I just don't know. But you got to beat out Georgia for one of them. Either Kayvon Cochero from Houston County, or you got to go Craig Dandridge. Dandridge is a dude. You know what I'm saying? Dandridge is a dude. If you can land him and add him to this class, look the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kid has gotten precipitously better. You know what I'm saying? Even from last year alone. So those would be some guys, if I was them, I would target to try to get. Obviously, I think DB wise, they're probably going to go in North Carolina or South Carolina potentially to land some guys out there to be able to come in and contribute. But yeah, like, you got to land so it's like the big guy. So let's take a quick look. I'm glad you asked that, baby.
Well, you just talked about the DB group. You know what I'm saying? You can't forget about Barney. Just had his OV. Love it when he walked that way.
I just don't know. I just don't know the realism in him coming to Georgia Tech. I don't think it's realistic.
Why you say that?
Because I think, like I said before, I think he just fits the mold of a Big Ten cornerback. Like Penn State and Michigan. He just doesn't feel like, and then they already have 3 guys at that position. So why would they add a 4th? Like, that just does to me, unless they're going to see him, as a safety at the next level?
Nah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just don't see it. Unless they're going to go 4 corners. I don't know. I just don't see that. I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I don't know the likelihood. That's why it feels like Michigan or Penn State to me. And that's not a knock. Like, Barney can play. I've seen him since he was young. I know he can play. Unless they lose a recruit. Now, if they lose a recruit, okay, maybe. But I don't see Tech adding 4 guys at that position. My personal opinion.
Well, he did remain. He did remain in his top 4. You know what I'm saying? Drop the Buffs. And then Penn State. I agree. You talked about it the last show we did. Like, Penn State's probably going to get him. I
think so. That's just me. But I do think Penn State has what it takes to get him, for sure.
I can't disagree. So, but yeah, are you pulling up the list right now of the prospects?
Yes, sir. I'm doing it as we speak.
All right. Ben, you know what I'm saying? He just Ben Big Mum
Mubunga? Don't tell me he committed, bro.
No. No. He just warm.
Okay, cool. Oh, we got a shout out from my boy, man. We gotta get him on the pod, bro.
Oh yeah. Hey, man, we appreciate it, LG, man. Hey, we'll see you soon, man. It's almost that time of the year again, brother.
Yeah, we gotta get down and see you and Coach L, man. Hey, I gave y'all a shout out too in the article. You know what I'm saying? I gave Coach L a shout out, man. So if y'all see it, obviously on Barack, y'all check it out, man. Had to show some love down to Bama, man. We miss y'all, the boys down there, man. Y'all do great stuff, man.
And I'm saying, take Barack out of to get a steak dinner or something. He deserve it.
Yeah, he do, man. Yeah, I know you be hard on Barack. Barack deserve it, man. Come on,
Yeah.
sophomore All American, man. He deserve it.
No more
Yeah,
grapes. No more grapes.
yeah. No more grapes, man. No more grapes. Take the little fish fry. Little fish fry.
Yeah.
All right. So Bacon. Here we go. So these are the recruits, right? So the
Yep.
likelihood, like Tech ain't landing no Tyler Atkinson, bro. Like that's likely Georgia. I think to me,
You think
Atkinson is
UGA?
Georgia or Clemson.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And the reason I say Clemson has what it takes to land him, right? And Clemson, he's gonna play like early, like kind of like Sammy Brown. Because think about it, Sammy gonna be a junior when he come in. Like Clemson, he gonna play. Now Georgia could sweeten it up with NIL package. I don't know what NIL.
You gotta play him at UGA, man.
I just don't see. I don't see Tyler seeing the field that first year, bro. That's not
Why
a
not?
disrespect to talent. I don't see it because they're
Because it's
always
so
looking
loaded.
at the position, whether it's the portal. What's the likelihood of Georgia starting a freshman linebacker?
He's a number one linebacker.
That don't
Well,
mean
not for
what
247.
did we just say? That don't mean not a damn thing. When you get to college,
It's been like
that don't mean nothing.
this ain't no regular product. I mean,
He ain't no
so
regular product, but at the same, that don't mean nothing.
this is why I need to answer. I see, like, to me, Zayden Walker should get burned. Like, he's supposed to be that Jalen Walker for them. He don't get no burn. No. Well, I do know. I got a chance to talk to Quintarius. I can't remember his last name. For Mays.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's supposed to get some significant time this year, obviously. So he got some burn last year. So he's supposed to slide. I think he's supposed to slide to that. Nah, I'm not gonna say that, but he's supposed to get a significant burn this year, man. They got a lot of good things going. Supposed to be tapping in with him soon to get a little right up, but you know what I'm saying. Nonetheless, I want to provide. I know it wasn't no big intel, but I want to provide that to the listeners.
Nah, great intel. I'm glad you did.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you, brother. Hold on, let me address these comments before we keep going down this list real quick. Go Bears, bear down. All right, we got a Hoko guy. Aaron Follow is QB. Yes, he is. Next year, he'll be the guy. Craig's a stud. Best wishes for. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he'd be elite for Tech. And I think personally, bro, if Tech lands him, you don't need no other three. That three right there, you set for your 26 class. I wouldn't go get no other receivers. You got them three, you solidified, in my humble opinion. You know what I'm saying? Don't get much better than them three right now. No.
100%.
No. All right. So next up, now maybe you got more intel. Now I don't know where Tristan Gibbons is leaning.
I
don't know, twin.
I haven't talked to him. I went down there to the practice. I just don't think he's a tech guy.
Yeah, I don't see it.
But he had a Texas A&M shirt on when I got down. That's about all I can give you. I know Tennessee's high. I say it's between Texas and Texas. I mean, Tennessee and A&M. Okay, I lean towards A&M since I've seen him with the shirt on down there at practice, but that could be anything.
Exactly. So don't see it. Caden Prothrow feels like Georgia. If not Georgia, he's going to Florida. In my personal opinion, Braden Rouse, I don't know what happened. Tech had it. I don't know if he got too expensive, but like that's another player that would have been elite for them to get, and it's gotten better and better and stronger and faster.
Yeah.
Right? But maybe he just priced out, and you had that sometimes. Kids are priced out, but that kid's elite, right? You got Ernest Rankins. I don't know the likelihood that you're gonna flip him from Georgia. No, he's trending there. Yeah, Jordan Carter. I don't see it unless one of these two, because they got such a tight relationship. Unless one of these two flip potentially, I don't see it.
Well, yeah, we you know what I'm saying, we gotta talk about AG a lot more. AG, you know what I'm saying, is to me is he's better than what he's ranked as, man. I got to see him. And he even killed it this year at Friday Night Lights, man. Just cooked every DB. It puts on a display every time he gets the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? We don't get to see it at OT7, but he has transitioned to C1N. And I'm willing to go out on a limb and say I like C1N to win OT7. Devin Carter, Aaron Gregory, quarterback at Milton. You know what I'm saying? They got Lil P. You know what I'm saying? Peyton Zachary. Got Jamar Owens on the back end along with some other guys. I'm trying to think of a guy at Langston who played for them as well, DB. But you know, But Aaron Gregory, man, I just think he's underrated still. You know what I'm saying? He's got the feet, just everything about the kid, man. So I definitely want to give AG his flowers, man. You know what I'm saying, but seeing him and Jordan, Texas A&M still doesn't feel right to me. But it feels right. It feels right to them from watching their series. But if they stay locked in with A&M is going to be a team that we need to watch going forward. But I just want to throw that in there, not to get off topic.
Great nugget, brother. No, I appreciate you adding that. Aaron Gregory is definitely underrated. Should be higher ranked. I agree with you. Now, the player that we didn't talk about, and I think Tech could land, is this guy right here. He's in that top list for them in terms of finalists. Is Lasiah Jackson.
Oh,
now,
yes.
I already said, like, I don't know how many corners they're going to take, but I feel like he's one of those guys they could make the exception for. You know what I'm saying? That's no knock on Barney. I just know from what I've heard through sources, not through the team, through sources.
Well, he's at a home visit, right?
I think so. You know what I'm saying? Like, they real high on him. So that's a guy, like, if Tech can land him, he's top 12 on 247. That's going to bring you up more. You know what I'm saying? That's a guy. If you can land him, okay, ooh, all right, you're doing something, you know?
100%.
All right, let's get a couple more. Okay, so then another one, like offensive line-wise, they consider the athlete, but the kid's big at 6'5", 300. Hayes Kent, you know what I'm saying? You really locking up the future of your offensive line. You can land him. Now, he's trending towards Miami right now, but that would be a guy that potentially you feel good about if you can land him, right? Yeah. Another high-end prospect. Now, we're just going through high-end prospect they should target and try to land, right? All right, Bubba Frazier, obviously committed to Notre Dame. Kamari Brooks, we know he's going to either be Georgia or Clemson, right? Maybe you throw in Bama in there too, all right? Then Jaden Terry, he's the highest one they got right now. But that's good, though. Top 22 player, you got him landed on your roster.
Right.
All right. And then obviously we talked about Colton. We know Colton likely not at Georgia Tech, trending towards Tennessee. Cortez.
He liked that Penn State visit, though.
What you say?
I think he liked that visit at Penn State. I know it's a little further away from home, but Penn State, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of got that aura, you know what I'm saying? They could really possibly do something. They got that quarterback who, Drew Aller, who they believe is going to be the Heisman this year. I still don't see it, but a lot of kids are liking that Penn State visit, so I think that's a team to watch in his recruitment as well.
All right, great point out by you. Cortez, likely SEC school. If not, he'll land with his boy at Miami, right? We know the details and intel there, right, Bacon?
Right.
All right, Dorian Barney, we know about the top four. Like I said, likely a Michigan, Penn State type of a corner, unless something unforeseen. Ant Davis, Auburn, Alabama, Florida. Likely to me, and like I said in my video when I posted his top 5, I think he lands at either Auburn or Bama. I feel like that has the, you know what I'm saying, they have enough to land him. Like, I think that's going to be probably for him. And then obviously Craig, you know what I'm saying? So Craig and these two dudes, I think if you Tech, you know, if you really want to solidify your wide receiver class, if you can land Craig Dandridge and Jaden Dunbar, you're doing something right. Dunbar is that TCC receiver I was telling you about, 6'5" and above. You know what I'm saying? Can grow, athletic. Dandridge, 6'1", can do a little bit of the dirty work, a little bit of everything. He'll be moving all around the field this year for Cambridge.
Can he block?
Yes.
All right.
So, yeah, if you can land those two, you feel good. You know, and the last guy I want to highlight is this guy right here on the edge, Drake Quinn. A lot of people want him. He's a 4-star, I think, on 3. That would be another really good elite get for them in the program. So those, when we talk about guys that Tech should go out and try to land, those would be some of the guys.
I'm saying we got to go to the quarterback. So we did bring up that one. You know, I guess we can segue off.
Huh?
I said, if we get ready to move on, I feel like we should go to the quarterback because we did bring up that position group.
Okay.
I mean, we know the top 5 is out of there. We know the top 5 is Weezy out of there.
Facts.
Not sure about Oscar Rios. That's probably a dead move.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Yeah, no. But Tech doesn't need it, though. That's what I'm saying.
They don't. Yeah.
They got Grady Adamson. Like, they don't need a top quarterback in this class. They just don't.
Yeah,
and he's gonna ride the pine.
Ride the pine.
Gonna ride the pine. So it's no point. You got a 26 guy. I'd be shocked if they even take a quarterback in this class. You could, but I don't think they would need to.
I agree with you, brother. Well said.
But they're good. So those are some of the guys, man. But We're going to leave it there. That's who we think Georgia Tech should target in order to buffer out this class. We're going to now move on, talk just a little bit about some college football topics. And let's start with this one, Bacon. I want to get your thoughts, brother. I did a video on this. I had a fan say pretty solid take. Well, actually, let me pull it up. Hold on one sec, y'all. Let me pull this up.
Love it when you walk that way and we talk.
Appreciate the 4 on YouTube tapping in, man. Y'all fans go. I didn't even promote this video, and y'all still showing love, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. That's some loyal fans, Bacon.
And we appreciate all the supporters. We appreciate all the loyal viewers, even the ones who aren't loyal. We appreciate you for tapping in today because you could have been anywhere else. Though we know there's no basketball on right now, and it's like, well, we got to fill our Monday afternoon with something. But we appreciate y'all tapping in.
100%. All right, Bacon. I got to get your thoughts on this. As y'all know, as I told y'all on the show, we're going to be talking more college football. We're covering it heavily this year. All right. So this fan, I made a video that said, is Arizona, can they become the next blue blood in this era of college football? My thoughts. All right. Now this fan says, this is a very level-headed take. I think his definition of blue blood is different than most. I think he means a top-tier program that wasn't a historical powerhouse. He was saying since he got hired, he's been preaching the why not us or why can't we mentality. Now, Bacon, what is your thoughts on this? And then just the comment in, can Arizona be a blue blood? Now, here is the quotes. Let me share the quote. Share this type of set. Now, this is the quote. So he says, you have Clemson this last cycle from 2010 to 2020. They just showed up. People think they've been around forever. You have Oregon from 2000 to 2010. There hasn't been a team in this era in the 2020s. The lifestyle you have in Arizona, if we can create some staff consistency, and then we're in a league where we can continue to compete in or compete to win.
That's a fact. The lifestyle you can have at Arizona, the sun is out. That's all you need. It's good weather. It's a good vibe, man. It's an easy place to recruit. With them losing a close game to the Longhorns last year, that would have been monumental if they could have upset them. But, man, they got a shot. They got people's attention right now. Everybody knows Cam Scatterbo.
He going, though.
They're trending in the right direction, man. I mean, they're gonna have everybody's attention this year, especially they're getting put on a platform like R3. I'm not sure what the recruiting class looks like.
They got 2 guys from Georgia, Nayland Scott and Jalen Williams. Nayland Scott from McKeitron, Jalen Williams from Kell.
If you can, when you recruit kids from the state of Georgia from premier schools like McKeitron and Kell, you're trending in the right direction. So
they trended, but can they become the question is, can they become a blue blood?
Anybody can become anything. It's about what you produce. So this is going to be a big year for them. Potentially to answer your question, yes. Like I said, we need to see it. Clemson, they came in and beat Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Oregon, they were in the mix. What'd you say?
I would say no for Oregon. They didn't win nothing.
I mean, they didn't win nothing, but now, you know, Oregon, they was running the culture. They was running the culture. Chip Kelly made it to the NFL, right? The Anthony Thomas, you know what I'm saying, really should have been Tyree. I mean, it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, Cliff Harris, if he didn't get in trouble, you know what I mean? So they had a lot of good, Michael James, you know what I mean, at the end time. But nonetheless, I guess that was my team, as you can tell, when I was in high school. But they have, Arizona State has a good chance. Like I said, they're going to have our attention, but we need to see consistency.
So in my take, I said, I think if they can get some championships in the next 5 years, like if they can get 2 or 3, I think they could be considered potentially maybe a blue blood of this era, right? But like you said, Bacon, and I agree with you, you have to expand on your success, right? You won the Big 12 championship, right? You had Texas on the ropes in the quarterfinal, right? Some say you should have won that game. Some say you got an unfair whistle, right?
Yeah.
But how do you build on that? Now, no Cam Scatterbo. Who's going to be your next running back? Can Sam leave it as the quarterback of your team take that next step forward? Turned over the ball a lot? I don't know. And he's still in top 10 conversations for quarterbacks going into this next year. I'm going to say pump the brakes. I do like their team though, but I want to see them take that next step. To your point, Bacon, this upcoming season, right? Can you get back to a Big 12 championship? Can you make the college football playoff for the second year in a row, right? Or will we see some flukes, Bacon? This is what makes the college football playoff interesting. Because you got 12 teams, right? Some people think SMU was a fluke, right? Arizona State, were you a fluke?
Nah.
Indiana, were you a fluke?
Yes.
Can you get back? Those are going to be the biggest questions surrounding those programs, right? Can you get there? And it remains to be seen. We're going to find out. You know what I'm saying?
How do you like the new format of it's no longer
it's off of seating.
Yeah, all seating this year. I like that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I like that. All conferences are not created equal, so it's gonna get real. It's like last year. Like the earlier matchups we saw probably weren't the best. No, it did work out. We saw a good semifinals and finals, but we just want to keep college football is entering into another golden era. We want to protect the on-field product, for lack of better words.
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, we want to protect the product, and we want to get top tier football. I agree. I like the seeding because then you don't penalize. Okay, you won, or you didn't win your conference championship. Okay, you can't get a top seed. Like no, like everyone knows, Ohio State shouldn't have been no damn 7 seed or whatever they were this past year.
Right.
So I love the seeding. It's going to make it so much better. It makes so much more sense. I did a video on this. I love it for college football. Conference championships are important, but at the same time, give the best teams in college football the best seeds.
I agree, brother. The floor is yours once again.
All right, brother. So we'll get your thoughts on this. Some people are calling the SEC the no fun league, Bacon. They are imposing a major fine if your team pulls an upset and storms the field. Here's Greg, SEC commissioner says we'll no longer use an escalating scale for field and court storming fines. Stormings will now cost the home team $500,000. Your reaction, Bacon?
My reaction is, hey, go ahead and put that in the budget because them kids finna storm that field. I don't care what you say, brother. So it's unfortunate the SEC has done this, but as I get older, I understand, precaution. This may, kids storming the field. This may cut into your ad revenue time. You got to cameras, you want to cover that. So I mean, if you're gonna be tight, you want to be all about the profits, which I don't agree with there. You gotta leave some room for human stuff, man. It's just tradition. It's a tradition. It's just one of the greatest traditions in all of sports. So I'm not a big fan of it, but I understand, man. 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. It makes the sport great. That footage afterwards, storming the field, taking obviously the field goals out, dumping it to the river, as some teams do. It encapsulates college football, right? It makes it like, I got to tune in any given Saturday, right? You say that for NFL, sure, but like anybody can win. Anybody can be upset. And you love that when the teams go on a roll in a hostile environment and the team outplays them and the kids get to enjoy them. It's probably one of the most craziest moments you're going to remember as a college student. Oh, man, I was there upset when you're going to forever cherish and remember that. So it's not just, like you said, about the profit and money, but it's also lifelong memories, man, and being able to enjoy your team beating probably a really good team they shouldn't have beat.
Absolutely. I got flashback, and if you want to check out on the Bacon Network, Tech fans, you can dive into it, relive the experience when Georgia Tech upset Miami at the Bobby Dodd. Man, it was crazy experience. Just seeing the gleam on the student's face rushing the field, man. Was just, and I'm about 4 years removed from college, and I'm like, I'm not feeling like a kid again, but I'm just feeling the energy, trying to take it all in, man. Got some dope interviews for Chase Lane and Evan Harvey. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna stop. But like I said, you just better have that money tucked aside, man, because I know it's gonna be some kids that buck the fraternity kids. They're gonna jump out. I already know it.
100%. You know they are.
They hyped up on them Jimmy Cans, them saying them Budweisers, them cool, not that cool is like they on the Michelob Ultras. That's all the fuel they need, man. So
then they good to go.
100%.
All right, man. Let's keep it rolling. All right, we got another topic I want to get your thoughts on. Where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so I know you're still getting acclimated to college football, but Luke Altmaier says he passed up on the SEC to chase history at Illinois. He told Pete Nakos, it was certainly an attraction and a real thing. It was a difficult decision, but I know it's important. It'd be foolish to pick up and start over and take a risk when I have a lot of trust that's been earned and built. Your thoughts to that, Bacon?
Yeah, I mean, Altmaier is he's built something special at Illinois. You know, you get to play in the Wrigley. You know what I mean? Against Northwestern every year. That's a big rivalry game. Not too big, not too knowledgeable to us down here on the South, in the South, but people up there in the North that definitely know about the Illinois Northwestern rivalry. So, you know what I'm saying? Build that legacy in the Big Ten. You got a chance to play Michigan, you know what I'm saying? Penn State, Iowa. Respectable conference. I mean, I wouldn't expect any quarterback in that situation to do it any other way. If you leave, I'm like, man, well, you know, you come to the SEC, I get it, but you know, you're in the Big Ten, man. You know, you play big time football. You can build a good resume, preparing you for the NFL. So, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a wise move. He's coming off a career year for obviously the Fighting Illini, threw for 2,000 yards this past year, nearly 3,000, 22 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions the year prior, 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Can he take Illinois to a step further, though? Right? Can they be in that? I don't know if they will, but I'm just throwing it out there. But can they be in that Big Ten championship conversation? Right? Can they pull an Indiana this year? You know what I'm saying? Because this is it for him, right? He's already been 4 years, a junior. This year he'll be a senior. Can he take Illinois to new heights? And like I said, same kind of thing, Bacon. He's been considered on every top 10 list, pretty much, for quarterbacks going to 2025. So I commend him. You stayed, you getting it out the mud. You didn't taste the loft of your bag. You did get a bag, but you decided to stay home and stay with the bag. You know what I'm saying? Now can you elevate this Illinois team? And we're going to find out. And like you said, you got to play big boy football. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of big boy football, let's pull up their schedule real quick, Bacon, and let's talk about that real quick.
All right, yeah, that's a good look. That's a good look. Playing in Illinois, not too far from Chicago, that cold weather. That already puts him in a different type of category. Like he can go play anywhere. Like we looked at not Cam Ward or Shador. Maybe those two. I think it was maybe Cam Ward. You know what I'm saying? Can he go somewhere cold? You know? I think it was Shador. Can he go somewhere cold and be productive? You know what I'm saying? That idea that they thought he would play better in warmer climate. But he's in Cleveland. So
good point. I agree with you. And like you said, Boulder it get cold out there. So if you can win out there at a high level, which he showed, he could play in cold weather and be just fine. But Bacon, to me, want to pick your brain, but this is how it looks for them, right? So some good starter-up games. Western Illinois should be able to win. Do your thing against them. Do you play Duke? Duke is in kind of a transformative stage, in my opinion, right? No more of their great running back. Malik Murphy left. Ended up going to Oregon State. I don't think they will have Star Thomas this year. Who will be the next playmakers for them? Should be able to win that at Duke. Western Michigan, that game that I got circled early on is back-to-back weeks. Indiana, USC, right? Good test to see where you are as a program. You know what I'm saying? Right. See if you can win those games. That's so about week 4 is when the test comes in for Illinois. Indiana's a team that wants to get back to the mountaintop. They want to get back to competing and playing in Big Ten, you know what I'm saying, high-stakes games. That's a great test on the road in Bloomington to see where you are. Then you got Purdue and then Ohio State at home. Can you upset the Buckeyes? You know what I'm saying? That's a big game, Bacon. October 11th. That's huge. Then get a bye. Washington, Rutgers, Maryland, Wisconsin, Northwestern. So you look at it, pretty favorable schedule, in my opinion.
It's tough schedule.
Yeah, pretty favorable to me. Besides Indiana, USC, and Ohio State, you should be able to win most of these games.
You should be able to win most of these games. Maryland's they're an in between program, so they can give you a run for your money on any given Saturday. Wisconsin is like I said, I don't know. I'm stuck. I just I'm still learning the college football landscape. But I do know Wisconsin is always known for having those big offensive linemen. They got a good running game. So and it's going to be in November. It's going to be a little cold. You know what I mean? Grip on the ball, it can leave you at times. So that's going to be a game that you can kind of, you got to keep a close eye on. But yeah, for sure, definitely Indiana, USC, Ohio State are definitely going to be those games where can they go 2-1? Will they go 1-2, or will they go 0-3? Lord forbid. But those are going to be the games where we find out what Mr. Altmaier and the Illinois. What's the mascot, bro?
Fighting Illini.
Fighting Illini. Boy, I'm telling you, we can see if the Fighting Illini can play 750 ball in those 3 games.
100%, brother. Gonna be a good test to see where they at, man. So that's a reaction there. And then beginning to conclude college football, let's go ahead and get your thoughts on this, brother. Because week 1 is around the corner.
Nah, definitely. Looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be a good year, good college football watching.
100%. So this is Fox College Football. Now we went through some week 1 games, but this is Fox College Football week 1 slate. Just what is your thoughts? Any games kind of stand out to you for this slate?
Obviously Texas, Ohio State. I don't even know who that is playing the Cyclones, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is either. SD.
San Diego.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
I don't think Old Dominion has enough for Indiana. Auburn should beat Baylor. I guess you could say Central Michigan, San Jose State. That's an interesting one. And I'll just say Georgia Southern, Fresno State, because Georgia Southern could be on that cusp of where they can not be maybe creep into the top 30, maybe. So that's an interesting one for me too. Just because I live in Georgia.
Good point. Yeah, I would go Auburn Baylor for sure. I think that's a marquee matchup to see who comes out on top. Baylor got a kid that everybody's been high on, that Sawyer Robertson. How would they look? It's on Fox, the late kick. You know what I'm saying? So who kind of comes out on top? I still don't understand why that wouldn't be a 12 game and you put the Texas Ohio State at that time. But I digress nonetheless. But that should be a really intriguing game to start off the college football. Obviously, you got to go Texas Ohio State. I mean, don't get no much bigger than that. See where those 2 teams are and how much they both improved. Georgia Southern, Fresno State should be intriguing in a new era in UCLA. Nico Amaliava is there along with his brother Madden. Go with obviously Utah on 11 p.m. kick. A lot of eyes going to be on that program and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? They expected to take a jump forward. So that's going to be an intriguing matchup, I think, as well.
True. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess you could say a bonus one would be what's that? I think that's Wyoming versus Michigan State. Michigan State's always they're a program that's had success in the past, and it's always interesting to see where they're at year to year. Are they decent, pretty good, or ho hum? But
it'll be different for them. They just got Georgia Tech's athletic director.
That's true. So they're trending upwards. You know what I'm saying? So it all starts at the top and trickles down.
100%. And then, brother, as we conclude this topic, I gotta get your thoughts on this. I think this is a hell of a slate. Like I said, I'm excited when I'm not going to be covering tech. I will be looking at the SEC more heavily in some of these programs that we cover for SI. But this is a hell of a slate, week 3, brother. I mean, I don't think you can find a better week for college football. I mean, this is like almost like a what the hell-y. You know what I'm saying? This is good, brother. But I mean, what's your thoughts on these 3 matchups?
We gotta start with the most intriguing matchup, which is LSU versus Florida. Can Brent Nussmeyer? Brent Nussmeyer?
Garrett.
Garrett Nussmeier, and the young quarterback at Florida,
DJ Lagway.
DJ Lagway. You know what I'm saying? I like DJ Lagway, man. I'm not too sold on Nussmeier, man. He's got a good deep ball, but Kenny can't make those touch throws. But I know now Florida, not Florida, LSU. I mean, they always have these dynamic receivers that are homegrown. You know what I'm saying? You look at Jefferson, you look at Chase. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to
Kyron Lacy.
Kyron Lacy, man. So, but I want to see Al Lagway, you know what I'm saying, approaches year 2. So that's gonna be the biggest matchup for me. Obviously, you know, Georgia and Tennessee. Can Tennessee, how will they look with their new quarterback in it? And I think Georgia's going to be just fine. You know what I'm saying? I think the noise is kind of quieted down on can they be prepared. I know I talked to Q. He kind of reassured me that, you know, so we'll be fine. But that's going to be a good one. And in Alabama and Wisconsin, you know what I'm saying? The board, man, had a good season last year, not by Alabama standards. But
Definitely
can you come in and can you take care of the Wisconsin Badgers? Because if you lose week 3, brother, to the Badgers
at home too.
At home, it ain't gonna be good for you, brother. But I think Alabama's gonna take care of business. But that's just gonna be what the media does. They're gonna talk it up. But it should be Alabama, Georgia, and I'm gonna rule with the Gators.
It's a good point. Yeah, I think looking at this slate, I think it's marquee. I'm excited to watch it. I think Wisconsin, Bama. Wisconsin, didn't get a lot of their quarterback position in Locke, who was a sophomore last year, threw 10 interceptions. They can lose their leading rusher, who was a senior last year. Kind of a new regime starting for Wisconsin. And, a really good road test, though. Like, you want to schedule these type of hard non-conference games to see where your team is at. So what better way than to be on a national slate, noon, and going up against Bama? You don't get much better than that, in my humble opinion. So I definitely think that's intriguing. And then, who will be the quarterback? Is it Ty Simpson? Is it Keelan Russell? Who emerges as quarterback for Bama? They got good running backs coming back. They got good skill position players too. But who will emerge there for them? LT Overton coming back another year should be just fine, in my humble opinion. But like you said, Bama got to take care of business. They want to see Bama in the college football playoff. That is what they're holding them to, and probably competing for SEC championship. That's just what Bama's been spoiled to, especially the fans. We'll see. Georgia, Tennessee, interesting to say the least, because now they got to go to Neyland Stadium, right? And Tennessee, it's a new era. Who's going to be your starting quarterback, right? Is that position fluid? You know what I'm saying? With a Jake Merklinger, with a Joey Aguilar, with a George McIntyre, who's going to be your starter, right? And if they're struggling early, do you yank them? So it's going to be interesting to see. They got playmakers. They got guys. We know about Mike Matthews. We know about Travis Smith Jr. Who going to be the next guys up for them? You know what I'm saying? For the Volunteers. That's a big question there. In Georgia, standard's the standard. You know what I'm saying? Can you get back to the SEC promise that you've always been doing, right? Some people feel like this roster is not as talented in years past, but do you have enough weapons? I feel like they did a great job in getting the playmakers they need on the outside. But will that equate to more points? Will that equate to more big plays? Can Gunnar Stockton get it done? Is he ready? Or will you have to turn to somebody else? A lot of questions got to be answered there. That's a good test in Neyland Stadium to find out. Last but not least, Death Valley. That atmosphere is raucous, man. But we seen Bama last year go in Death Valley and put it on them. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, though, it's the intermediate routes, for Garrett Nussmeier. We know he's a good deep ball thrower, but you can't always connect on that play. That's not a high percentage play. You know what I'm saying? The deep ball. Like, you gonna hit, them, but it's like almost shooting. I don't want to say a 3-point shot because it's become so prevalent now, but it's almost like shooting, trying to think how I would describe it. It's like shooting a par or shooting a hole in one in golf. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to always hit it. Can you hit it? Sure. But the frequency in which you're going to hit a hole in one is not that high. So he has to improve that game. And he got to go running back. Kaden Durham's that guy. He can play. You got the weapons. You got some good defenders in the portal. I think they got Patrick Payton, if I'm not mistaken, from Florida State. So you got the players. You got to take that step forward if you're LSU and Brian Kelly. They want to see LSU in the college football playoff. And then you Florida. Florida got them dudes. They got the receivers. I've been saying it. Dallas Wilson, Nashawn Montgomery. We seen one of them making Vernell Brown Jr. or Vernell Brown III.
Yeah.
They got some dudes. Now, Lagway's coming off that injury. We'll see. Same velocity. They gotta get him to take the next step forward. But he's ready. You know what I'm saying? We'll obviously see what happens there, man. But that's a great slate, in my humble opinion. And I can't wait to see it. That's some marquee football right there.
Facts. Let me talk about Vernell Brown being one of the toughest covers coming out of high school from top level DBs.
What'd that tell you?
Cooked. Cooked. Like I said, I like Florida. Man. I want to see Lagway be successful. But it's like Lagway was Bryce Underwood, then Lagway for me. For the new breeds.
New breeds, okay.
Yeah.
All right, like that. Let me see if I want to find one more thing for you. And we gonna wrap up college football. Hold on 1 second.
Let me when you walk that way. That song just been stuck in my head, man.
All right, here we go. It's stuck in your head, huh?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? The young boys been on they been doing the TikTok dance when they go on the visits.
I'm dead. All right, man. So I want to get your thoughts just on these game slates. Obviously Georgia Tech announced it. They'll play Gardner Webb. Obviously that's their first game at home after they play Colorado at Friday night. They'll play Gardner Webb at 3:30 on ACC Network Plus, I believe. And then they're going to play, obviously, against Clemson noon on ABC on ESPN, Saturday, September 13th. And then they play Georgia on Friday, right after Thanksgiving, at 3:30 p.m. What is your thoughts, brother?
I think the Gardner Webb thing, I think that's a old history rivalry. But that should be just a little tune-up, get the guys out there. Fine tune some things. Get a little exotic, get the guys having a little fun, maybe throw another Jamal Haynes or running back pass, catch them slipping, get the energy high, because they're gonna need it that following week when Clemson comes to town. That's gonna be a very big one, man. That's gonna be a very big game. So definitely pack out the Dodd. What else needs to be said? You got to slow down. You got to slow down K. Klubnik. You got to get him off his spot, rough him up a little bit. Get the sack artists in the backfield early. It's gonna be interesting to see how the new DC comes in. How is it gonna dial up his blitzes? What type of style is he? And then we all know about the Georgia game, man. Those guys are still hurting about that game they lost in Sanford Stadium. Only thing that I don't like about that is in the bins. I think it should be at the Dodd. It just doesn't. It's the only. That's to do it right. You know what I mean? Put them back in that Rockers environment. But that's not gonna be a cakewalk. We all know that. But I think the key for that Georgia game is similar things you got to do for K Klubnik. Get Gunner starting off his spot early. Speed up his inner clock and get the run game going. The offense is dynamic, but I just think the more you can get Gunny off his spot, I think the better the chances is going to be for Georgia Tech to come away with the victory.
Good point. I think my biggest takeaway from these time slates is just Georgia Tech's biggest games. They're either on prime time or they are on major national networks. Right? I don't think we really seen that a lot last year, right? The Miami game was, but you go look at Colorado, prime time spot, Friday on ESPN. Clemson, one of your biggest games of the year, noon, ABC on ESPN. Georgia Tech, Georgia, last year, we know they got obviously ESPN spot. You're getting the exclusive ABC spots at 3:30. Now, we'll see what happens with the Syracuse game and if that gets nationally televised. But 3 of your biggest games this year is nationally televised. That says a lot about the brand and where Georgia Tech is going, in my humble opinion, and the respect they're getting on the national scene. That says a lot. So that's one of my biggest takeaways when I look at all this. We talk about their schedule, what they've done, all that good stuff, but I think that's huge to see them on that national slate like that and the respect they're getting.
100%. They're trending in the right direction. Coach Key's been on some. He's been on some. He's been on some big podcasts. So you know what I mean. He's been talking it up. You know, he talked to the media. The media is going like, hey, you know, they're building something that gets up to the big dogs. And we all seen that 8 overtime game against Georgia. So all those stacking good days is just a line for Georgia Tech to again, you know what I'm saying, have a big season and win the recruiting wars against their rivals.
What better way to do it? You on them spotlights, you got the big recruits there, and you win.
Take it up top, take it to the moon.
That's it, brother. That is it. All right, brother. We're gonna look at a couple film breakdowns, man. We're gonna get up out of here, brother. I know you gotta be up. I gotta be up too. So we're gonna look at a couple little quick ones. They're not long, about a minute so long. And then we're gonna rock and roll. All right, so this guy is Lakeside High School wide receiver Spencer Wise. All right, so this is via his X page. Let's go ahead and break it down. All right, here in the middle. Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Okay, nice little double move. Yeah, I like it, Bacon. I mean, elite tracker to football, Bacon. That's the first thing I have to say. Little off coverage here, Bacon. Stutter and go. Right? Corner gets physical.
Oh, beat him.
To the football, yep. But the ball's on the throne because he's going to throw it back here. It's kind of like a back shoulder.
Right.
Sky for the football. I like that, man.
This is against Maynard Jackson.
Right here, little fade ball. Not a great throw. Love it. Sky up, go get it.
Ooh. Keeps his feet going in the hole. Textbook.
Go wrap up tackle. You know,
that's trying to him right.
Attain the edge. Stop him in his tracks. Yeah, 1-on-1 on the island. Low bubble route. Low curl.
Yeah, man.
The wrap up tackle.
Well, you said this is Miller Grove?
No, he's Lakeside. Lakeside, I think the cap.
Oh.
Yeah, his name is Spencer Wise. Pretty decent film there, I think, Bacon.
Yeah, man. Did his linebacker reps give you Braden Rouse vibes?
I don't know. I mean, I can see it maybe a little bit, but I don't know, man. Braden's a different animal.
Yeah, he's a different animal.
But his footwork, maybe. But yeah, Braden's a different animal. Facts. But yeah, what would you rate the film?
The film, man. We'll give him an 8.5.
Okay.
8.5. I really liked it. He's still young, so I don't want to give you a prospect's got a polish at 9 or 10.
All right, I go like a solid 8. I think it's solid film. He's actually a senior who plays wide receiver and safety, but I mean he's huge, bro. 6'4", 185. So big guy. Somebody's gonna take a chance on him, man. You always use that type of size.
Get in that weight room this summer. I have to eat 4 times a day, youngster. You know what I'm saying? If you really want it, it's what you got to do.
Hey, great advice right there from Bacon. All right, man, let's watch the last one. You know this kid well. You went out and seen him. I seen him too. This is Jamarian McKinney, receiver, Langston Hughes, Bacon.
Yes, sir.
Ooh. Defense got cooked. Oh, my goodness, bro. How did they fall asleep? So this is this free game against Cook County. So nice little eye candy. He falls for it. And obviously Jamarian with his speed and burst cooks him.
Gotta play discipline.
That one.
Gotta take the cheese, man. It's a textbook. You don't want to take the cheese. Stay in your run fits on run defense. Stay in your zone. Play discipline.
All right, here, then in that slot. Nice route. Come across the face of Kelly. Nice, easy touchdown.
And that's gonna be the thing, man. People talk about that Langston doesn't have a lot of weapons, but you got, you know what I'm saying, you got him, you got Carson Baker, and Darnell Kelly is one of the best throwers of the football in all of Georgia high school football. So it's gonna be interesting to see where how it all meshes together.
100% agree. Oh, nice route. Hold on, let me make sure I was looking at that right. Not the wrong dude.
He's gonna see a lot of double teams.
Okay, yeah, he just kind of came down. Little drag route. Looking at the other
bracket coverage.
Mm-hmm. Screen pass.
Kind of like a little tunnel, but like kind of like a jailbreak.
Mm-hmm. Right out quick, get it up the field.
Oh.
Throw inside. Solid,
man. He's going to be, I believe he had, 1,400 yards last year, like 10 touchdowns?
I don't think so. I don't think he had them numbers. He played for Langston last year?
Nah, he was at Dutchtown last year.
He was at Dutchtown last year?
Yeah.
Really?
I believe so. Let me see, recruit Langston. I'm pretty sure. You got it?
Yes. Yeah, you're right. 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Yep. Damn. Pretty solid season.
Yeah, he's gonna be tough, man. That's why I say he's gonna see. You have to bracket cover him. You have to double team him, or you know, so him and Darnell just gonna cook you up the field. So it's gonna be on other receivers to step up and make plays. Like the Xavier Tiller. You know what I'm saying? Can this be the season Xavier Tiller gets unlocked for Langston? You know what I'm saying? Hasn't really seen a lot of pass catches, but has the ability to make big plays downfield. And the other tight end as well, his name escapes my mind, but I recorded him at the spring practice. So they got some weapons, man. They got some weapons. That's why I think Langston is my dark horse, but to me, they're really not a dark horse. I just know most people are gonna look at Milton, Gainesville, and school to that, and obviously Thomas County Central. But you know what I'm saying, you cannot forget about the Panthers and Fairburn.
That is true, man. Solid film though, bro. Keep going. Obviously, you know how to play. You played obviously exceptionally well at Dutchtown, one of the leading receivers. And now, like I said, you get to eat because a lot of guys are going to be defense going to package up against the stop, Xavier Tiller and obviously the other Langston Hughes tight end, and then they're going to be stacking the box to slow down Carson Baker. So that's going to leave for you more opportunities, especially in that slot Z position to cook and eat defenses up.
Clint Davis is another name that might see some reps at the receiver position. Plays DB. Kind of has been a name who kind of saw a lot, got some attention at OT7 the way he played the ball. So I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, take a trip down there to Fairburn. And while you're down there, stop at JJ's. You know what I'm saying? It's a Chicago-based company, but they do a lot of good business down here in Georgia.
Stop by JJ's.
Stop by JJ's, man. Get you some of that white powder. Season that is.
Like how you specify that.
Yeah, man.
Gotta be careful with that white powder.
Talking about.
You gotta be careful with that white powder.
You gotta be careful, literally and figuratively.
It is dangerous.
Cholesterol, all that. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep your numbers right. For those who have to deal with that, Naj and I haven't got to that stage in our lives, but we are scaling back on the unhealthy foods for sure.
Yes, and we stay in the gym.
Yes, sir.
We got to deal with that. Yeah.
Catch us on the line. Right now, you can catch us on the line. You know what I'm saying? Give us some pads. We'll take them off and hand it back to the coach and say, hey, I'm just here to cover the game, coach. Real talk.
Nah, facts, brother. Facts, man. But that's going to do it for today, man. Bacon, I just throw for you any closing thoughts, man. Any humor, anything you want to say, or anything that we didn't cover that you want to talk about before we close out?
Noonan High School may make some noise in 5A. I gotta see some more. But they got some promising prospects out there. We all know about Rodney Colton, Ashton Lawless. But they got some receivers. They got some receivers out there. They got a couple linebackers. We all know about Anaj, not know about Josiah Smith. But I'm saying they got a squad out there in Noonan. They're gonna be in the mix come round, say the second round. So them as well, East Coweta. They got some skilled players for sure. But I always gotta put on the hometown, man. Put on those athletes that don't get a lot of shine. But shout out to Coach Third, man. You know what I'm saying, for tapped in. Appreciate you letting me come out. And I believe Coach Q at Lithonia quarterback coach. Justin Murphy, man. Kid's a quarterback. I don't know why these riders are, I'm saying, put him down as an athlete. The brother wants to play quarterback and his head strong on it. Got a chance to go out to see him practice. He's got it, man. He's got those factors. Kid's a leader. I'm saying, this guy next to me, one of the hardest working man in sports, man. Doing it all. Graphics, writing articles, and hopping on the camera, on TV, and hopping on the camera on the live stream. So this is why you tune into the Just the News podcast to get the raw and uncut, unfiltered, and the truth right here. So I'm throw it back to my brother. Let him sign it off as he does so well all the time.
Appreciate you, brother, for that compliment, man. But as y'all know, this is another episode of the Sizzle New podcast. Shout out to Down South, bro. Always good to hear from you and see you. Shout out to Luke. I'm not sure where you were from, but we appreciate you tuning in. If you are down in Hoko, the area to just say, go Bears, bear down. I know that bear down means Hoko. Appreciate you tuning in. Arcs, WTF, and Anthony Perez. Appreciate y'all tuning into the stream. I'm gonna start doing that. Start giving shout outs to the fans because y'all can spend y'all Monday nights anywhere else, but y'all choose to spend it with us, man. And we are greatly appreciative of that. And appreciate all that y'all do, man, and help us support the content, man. But that's gonna do it for today's episode. We will see you Thursday for a hoop segment. We got a lot to talk about. We'll talk about Cooper Flagg. Made $28 million.
God, he ain't play a game. Give me $28 million.
Yacht. That's a yacht. In his freshman season. So we're gonna break all that down. We're gonna break down Caleb Holt, obviously going with Adidas. His NIL valuation right now is $1.3 million. $1
million.
Lord, I would love to have that kind of money. Lord,
hey, just a kid from Alabama. We gonna have that money, brother. We gonna have that
one day. But that's what's coming up for this week, man. And I hope y'all tune in. Thursday will be at 8 p.m. So we will see you guys then. We might have a couple special guests. We'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Enjoy you guys Monday night and do something fun. Catch something fun. Watch a show, movie. Have a date. If you can't have a date, do something constructive. You know?
Yeah.
Read your book. Learn some crypto, some AI. Learn how to make your money work for you. I'll leave y'all with that. Yeah.